So the white F-150 that you see is the suspect vehicle, and we've established that the males that you're going to see in just a moment got out of this truck. All right, well, you're not actually going to see that part in the video. We cut it out. So anybody that's not blurred out is one of our 3 suspects. And then we're going to give you various camera angles and various shots, 4 suspects, I'm sorry. Various camera angles and various shots of the 4 suspects so that you can use what works best. Because the video is 2 minutes and what, 57 seconds? Is that what we have, Stan?
So the 2 individuals there, the ATM room.
Can you say
Yes.
where this is?
This is at a BP gas station at Lakewood and Metropolitan. So if they're not blurred, they're the suspects.
And they're legitimately taking money out the ATM?
I can't comment on that.
They've been
Florida State.
You can interject anything here.
You said the victim's ID.
No, the Florida State.
One of them.
Yes.
Okay, we say could use the suspects. I just want to make sure.
They're all in the same vehicle. The ID is the vehicle, and then the ID is one of the suspects.
Okay. Right.
Watch a lot of CSI. I'm sorry.
So obviously, we're releasing the video because we're seeking to identify the suspects depicted in it, or the persons of interest.
Yep, orange guy.
You can see an orange guy very clearly.
What's the possible cigarettes or something?
Then-
Just for like
The other thing is we're going to send it to you in a link.
Is that it?
That's it.
Oh. We're not looking for the orange guy.
the Ford F-150. Do you know what year it was or anything?
Is it stolen?
We do know what year it was, and it was stolen, but I didn't bring the year down with me. But the vehicle's since been recovered.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you're not looking for the vehicle. You're just
No, I'm not looking for the vehicle. I'm just looking for the suspects.
Whenever you guys are ready for them.
Just
to-
one second.
Want to make sure he's not orange. Sorry. All right. Do you mind saying?
Ready? All right. So it's Captain Michael O'Connor. O'Connor is spelled O''C"Connor.
What do you believe these individuals were in this video were involved with?
Okay, so on the morning of March 14th, 2015 at approximately 02:30, we received a series of 911 calls. The first call stemmed from a pedestrian robbery that occurred at North Highland and Los Angeles Avenue. Approximately 11 minutes later, we received a second 911 call in reference to a pedestrian robbery that occurred at 513 North Highland, or at the intersection of North Highland and Cleburne. And then shortly about 5 minutes after that, we received a 911 call about 2 males that had been shot in the back of the parking lot at 468 Moreland Avenue. In the first 2 pedestrian robberies, the suspects were described as being several black males driving a white F-150 pickup truck, which you have seen depicted in the video. And we were seeking to identify those suspects that were in that vehicle. All of those males got out of that pickup truck at the BP station. Through investigative means, we were able to track them to that BP station and obtain the video. and we're now seeking to identify those suspects.
What's the likelihood at this point, in your consideration, that all of these crimes, including the shootings, could be connected?
We're unwilling to rule that out at this time, so it is possible, but we don't have any definitive link. We're just not willing to rule it out.
You haven't connected them yet.
We have not connected the shooting to the two robberies, but we believe we have connected the two robberies together.
How far apart were the robberies again?
They were about 11 minutes apart.
And one was at North Highland, and what was the distance apart they were?
It's not more than a mile.
Okay.
The robbery.
Right.
And the time frame between the last robbery and the shooting?
Is about 4 to 5 minutes, and it's less than a mile away.
So it would have been possible.
It's possible.
If these four individuals are suspected of being connected to at least the robberies and maybe the shooting, this is all in one night. Have you found anything in any other incidents that might be similar to this that you haven't solved that might be connected to these guys?
We'll continue to look into that, but at this time we have not.
How important is it for, I don't know the details of these robberies, I don't know who the victims were, if anyone was harmed, did they pull guns on these victims? I guess how concerned are you about these individuals? And if you could tell us anything that you can share about the robberies at this point.
We are concerned for the public safety as always, anytime somebody is robbed. The robberies did occur at gunpoint. We do believe that these males represent some threat to public safety, and we would like to get them identified and speak to them as soon as possible.
We can send you the reports. Okay, thank you. And did you talk about, forgive me, I'm taking this all in, when they were in the store taking money out of the ATM, was there any information about what you think they were doing in there, if they were using their own money, if they had those were stolen cards? Have you talked about that at all?
No, I have not. We're not able to explain exactly other than what you see depicted, which they appear to be attempting to purchase several items and take some money out of the ATM.
Captain, again, you have 3 incidents, 2 robberies and a double homicide. Again, if you can, just for our edification, explain which ones you think are connected and what the statuses of all 3 of those are.
Okay, so we know the 2 pedestrian robberies are connected. We believe we've established a link in the 2 pedestrian robberies. We believe that those 2 robberies occur within a time frame and a distance that we have not been able to rule the suspects in those 2 robberies out of the double homicide. But we have not directly linked the homicide to those suspects either.
What kind of help could the public provide, enable, in terms of you guys being able to rule that out or make that connection? What are you looking for from?
We are looking for anybody who witnessed or has heard anything or has talked to anyone who could provide any substantial information into any of the 3 crimes that we've discussed here. And if they have that information, we would like them to call Crime Stoppers at 404-577-TIPS, 404-577-TIPS.
You clearly have witnesses in the 2 robberies, people who have been able to tell you what the suspects look like. Was there anybody in the double homicide that saw any of these individuals? Do you have any witnesses to what happened?
Yeah, I can't talk about any specifics in an open homicide investigation like that, so we wouldn't be able to release that information.
Can you tell us anything about when that truck, the circumstances in which that truck was stolen? Was that, I mean, obviously that's a crime in and of itself, but was it a robbery, an armed robbery, anything like that, or do we not know at this point?
I didn't review the report prior to coming down here, so I don't have the particulars on the auto
On the
theft.
truck. Okay,
Mhm.
but it was stolen.
Yes, it was stolen, and we'll get a copy of the report for you, and the vehicle has since been recovered.